Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Listen to the Vibes in our daily devotion. Uh, I want to talk about prejudice and racism and unity. I have to say that I pride myself on the fact that we try to stay away from politics and all those kinds of things when it comes to this channel. The reason why I try to steer away from it, because I want everyone to feel welcome when they come here. Everybody is included. I don't want to isolate anyone. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable when they watch these videos. And so, I have my political opinions. I think that it's more responsible for me to keep it to myself. If you want to know what they are, I'm glad to discuss it with you, but I don't like to just put it out there. We have a problem with prejudice and racism. And the reason why, I guess it's called a parable, whatever it is, but when you have inside of you two wolves, one's good and one's bad, which one is going to win? It's the one that you feed the most. So, do you want to have unity? Do you want to get rid of the prejudice and racism? Let me tell you the first thing you need to do. It's very simple. Stay off of social media, turn off the news. There's too many people on there. I guess virtue signaling is what you call it. They have a certain agenda. They apparently like this division. And, I try to stay off of it. Only reason why I really get on social media is to promote our videos and things like that. So it's very disparaging when I see, like, let's take, I'm not going to mention anybody's name in particular, but there's a certain individual. They have a very far left way of thinking, and so they're very much into it. And they said something which I don't know how you can misconstrue what this person said, but whatever. They said what they said, and now everybody in their group wants to cancel them because they didn't say what they, I guess, felt like it needed to be said. Whatever. This is ridiculous. You're always going to be scrutinized for every little thing, even if it doesn't seem controversial whatsoever. You're still going to be scrutinized for it because somebody just, I guess, feels like they have to be holier than thou. It's just ridiculous. Everybody should be able to have their own opinions and say what they want to say. I don't think it's healthy for someone to come out and be, promote any kind of violence towards anyone, to say anything disparaging as far as, their race, religion, whatever. I think that's all a bunch of baloney. Just need to stay away from that. I don't think we're ever going to come to that point unless we get rid of all that social media and news that just keeps pushing for division. Here's the second thing you need to do. When you go out and you're in public, once you meet someone and get to know them, that's a good way to end any kind of prejudice. I did make a mistake. Yesterday, went to a restaurant. We're going to go in, get our food, and then leave. Well, some of you may know I am handicapped, or disabled, should I say. And so we're in the disabled parking spot. The person that parked next to us, they were disabled too, so they had the right to park there. But they got out before I did. Their door was open, and when their door was open, I couldn't open my door, so I couldn't get out. I try to be patient. I don't like to stir anything up, so I wasn't going to say anything. But the person took their time. They're in a disabled spot, so I figure they're going to take their time. They started to go to the restaurant, but then they turned around, got back in their car. They forgot their mask. They were putting their mask on. In the process, it just seemed like they were just sitting there. They weren't moving. And I was getting very impatient. So I got kind of upset with this person. I didn't say anything, but I just was very upset with them. Well, they finally got into the store. I got in my car. We ordered our food, was waiting for it. Gentleman came up to me and he started talking to me. Found out we had some things in common. And he ended up being a very nice guy. And I could have missed an opportunity if I had just kept in my mind, I'm pissed off at this person. I don't want to know nothing about him. Just get the hell out of my way. I could have missed out on a great opportunity. And here's something else. I'm not going to bend the knee for anyone. I'm not going to kneel before you. The only person I'm going to kneel before is God. So I'm just not going to do it. If you want to have a conversation with me and you want to shake hands and you want to look eye to eye, I'm all for that. I believe we should all be on equal ground. So if you truly want to get rid of racism, you can't have any kind of prejudice towards anyone. I don't care what the color of their skin is. I mean, no one. So if you think by trying to be above or try to put down any kind of race, that's just wrong. You cannot get rid of racism if you have it in your heart. I don't care what you're trying to disguise. That's just wrong. You cannot be prejudiced against anyone. Not for the color, and prejudice in itself, not for the color of their skin, not for their religion, not for their gender or their sexual orientation, whatever it is. You can't have any prejudice whatsoever. Otherwise, what you're trying to preach to me it's going to go in one ear and out the other. Nobody should be above anyone. We all should be on the same equal line. That's all there is to it. And get to know people and judge them by their character. Now, I know the Bible says, judge not, lest ye be judged. But God also gives you the sense to know you judge someone by their character, not what's on the outside, not what church they go to, not who they're sleeping with. Judge them by who they are on the inside. Well, there's many people who, you could look at them and say, oh my God, this person was just awful just by looking at them. But if you actually get a conversation going, you might find out you have more in common than you realize. There was a point in America where we used to judge people for being homosexual. And I'm not gonna lie, I was part of that group when I was younger. But as the years went on and I got to meet people who were homosexuals and got to know who they were and realized you cannot lump everybody in the same category just because of things like that. So keep that in mind when you're judging other people. You cannot lump everybody in the same category. Just because there is certain individuals who happen to share the same color of their skin or their same religion or whatever, and they do something that's just radical or very hurtful, mean, or illegal, whatever. Not everybody is like that. That goes for everyone. As they say, don't judge a book by its cover, and don't lump everyone into the same barrel. Just because there's one bad apple, you cannot throw out all the other ones. It's ridiculous. You come to me and you're going to act a fool, you're going to be ignorant, you're going to be mean. I probably don't want to be your friend, but if you're a genuine person, of course I want to get to know you. And I don't like to categorize my friends and say, well, these are my white friends, these are my black friends, these are my Mexican friends, these are my Asian friends, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, whatever. No, these are my friends.
When you base your friendships or your associations just because this person is whatever color they are or whatever religion they are, what are you really saying? Because to me, that just seems as if you're trying to say you're better than everyone else because, oh, I've collected this group of friends. I don't count how many friends of mine are black or Mexican or white or whatever. That doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. You like somebody because you like someone. And when you try to go out of your way and say, well, I'm going to give this job to someone because they're female or because they're this color or whatever, and you're not giving it to someone because of their abilities, what are you saying? Oh, well, I feel sorry for you, so you're not like everybody else, so I have to put you ahead of the line. That's okay. I'm gonna give you an example. When I go somewhere and I'm standing in line, well, I can't say standing. When I'm in my wheelchair and people want to feel sorry for me and say, go to the front of the line, it's like, no, I'm just like everyone else. Just because I can't walk everywhere for long periods of time doesn't mean I should get, you know, um, I should be put at the head of the line. I don't want to be treated that way. I want to be treated like everybody else. If I'm screwing up, you know, cuss me out. Don't feel sorry for me. That's not what I need. Treat me like you would treat everyone else. Um, my wife has a cousin who's special needs. He's okay. So mentally, he's slower than everyone else. And yes, you have to make certain accommodations, but we treat him like we treat everyone else. We talk to him just like you talk to anyone. I don't talk down to him. That's not what he wants. No, don't get me wrong. If somebody has a disability, then yes, you have to accommodate for that. But being a different skin color, it's not a disability. And if you think it is, there's something wrong with you. You're a human being, so you should be treated as such. There shouldn't be a disadvantage because of the color of your skin or your gender or your religion. We should all be on equal ground. If you think otherwise, I don't. That there's something wrong there. So I hope I'm getting my point across. Sometimes I don't say exactly how I'm, imagining it in my mind, but until then, you're not going to get rid of prejudice. You're not going to get rid of racism. And racism goes both ways. I'm sorry, but it does. And as far as prejudice goes, you're never, ever, I don't care what you do, you're never 100% going to get rid of prejudice. You know why? Do you watch sports? You have a favorite team. You root for that team. So when somebody comes to play your team, are you cheering the other team on to do just the same as your team is? No, you're cheering for your team to win. Maybe that's a poor example, but that's there's still going to be some kind of prejudice out there. I'm sorry, there just is. There's never going to be, everybody's not going to always agree on everything. But you know, something else that the Bible teaches us, that you should um, hate the sin but love the sinner. So in that case, just because somebody's rooting against your team, this kind of a bad example, but I mean, if somebody else is rooting for the other team, don't go over there and beat that person up. You like the person, but you don't have to like the fact that they're rooting for the other team. Oh, I hope this helps. You know, you may say that I'm just 100% full of it, and that's fine. Everybody is allowed to have their own opinion. And if you think I can expand on that, or if you just totally disagree with me, please leave a comment. Be respectful. I think that's another thing. We should be very respectful to one another, even if we don't agree. I think it's great that people can have their own opinions on things. You know, being a married person, my wife and I don't always agree on everything. We know when to compromise. So that's how things work. We're kind of like in a big marriage when you're in a country. So you don't have to always agree, but we need to know when to compromise. And sometimes you do have to put your foot down. That's okay too. But be respectful about it. That's another thing we need to learn, is respect. Don't have to always agree. That's ridiculous to think that we're always going to agree. Then we shouldn't always agree on things. Life would be so boring if we agreed on everything. How do you think you can expand your life? You know, my wife, she used to live in Louisiana, and she brought some of that culture into this household, and I've learned to appreciate some of it. Now, I'm always going to be a Texan first, but there's no reason why I can't enjoy some of the things that she likes. You know, it's awesome when somebody that I know, they have different musical tastes, and they introduce that music to me. And some of it I'm gonna like, and some of them not. But I've expanded my life because I've opened myself up and I've respected the fact that they like something different. I wouldn't grow in my artwork if I just wanted to do it one certain way. It would be boring if I just listened to the same genre of music all the time. Life would be boring. There's certain things that I do that I've introduced to my wife, like, you know, going to Comic Cons in the comic book world and things like that. And now she's starting to enjoy some of it. She doesn't like all of it, and that's great, but she's enjoying some of it. There's even like the movies that we watch. There's stuff that I never would have dreamed of watching before, and I watched it because of her. And I would have missed out on something awesome if I had just blocked myself off from it. We all need to do that. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I could keep preaching to you all day. I hope this brings some kind of positivity, at least makes you think. And like I said, please comment. Let me know what you think. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, because it's only through your support that we're able to continue doing the things that we do. And until the next one, have a great day.